Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Or maybe you've started to misplace your keys more often, forget a friend's name, or struggle to remember simple words you once used every day. You might laugh it off and think, oh, it's just part of getting older. But what if I told you that these small changes could actually be the earliest signs of something much more serious, something millions of seniors ignore until it's too late? Dementia doesn't begin overnight. It starts quietly, with tiny clues your brain tries to warn you about. The earlier you spot these signals, the better your chance to slow them down, protect your memory, and stay independent for years to come. So stay with me till the end, because we're about to uncover 7 early dementia symptoms most seniors don't even realize are happening. And if you care about keeping your mind sharp and your memory strong, make sure to subscribe to Golden Life Health, because here we help you live longer, healthier, and smarter every single day. Subtle memory lapses that feel normal, but aren't. The first early symptom of dementia is often mistaken for simple forgetfulness, small memory lapses that seem harmless at first. You might start forgetting recent conversations or details you just read. Maybe you put something down, like your glasses or phone, and forget where you left it minutes later. Everyone forgets things occasionally, but here's the key difference. In dementia's early stages, these lapses become more frequent, consistent, and specific to short-term memory. You'll remember things from 30 years ago but struggle to recall what you had for breakfast or who called this morning. Neurologists explain that this happens because the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, starts shrinking earlier than most people realize. If you find yourself writing more reminders than ever, relying on sticky notes, or feeling anxious about simple forgetfulness, don't ignore it. It's not always just aging. These early lapses are your brain's first cry for help. The good news? Early lifestyle changes, like better sleep, brain-boosting foods, and mental exercises, can help protect this region before more serious decline begins. Trouble finding words or following conversations, the second early sign of dementia, often hides in plain sight: language struggles. You might notice it when you're in a conversation and suddenly can't find the right word, even though it's on the tip of your tongue. You might start using vague words like that thing or you know what I mean more often. Or you might feel frustrated trying to follow group conversations, especially when people talk fast or interrupt each other. This happens because dementia doesn't just affect memory. It begins to disrupt the brain's ability to connect thoughts, process words, and store new information at the same time. Many seniors dismiss this as just getting slower with age. But when these lapses start interfering with your confidence or social interactions, it's time to pay attention. Experts at the Mayo Clinic note that language confusion and slower word recall are among the earliest indicators of cognitive decline. The more you challenge your brain, through reading aloud, learning new vocabulary, or even singing lyrics, the stronger those neural pathways stay. Think of it as exercise for your brain's speech center. Losing track of time or getting disoriented in familiar places, the third early symptom of dementia, is something many seniors overlook: a growing sense of confusion about time, place, or routine. Have you ever woken up and felt unsure what day it is, or found yourself momentarily lost on a familiar street? Occasional confusion is normal, but when it begins happening more often, or when you lose track of dates, appointments, or even where you are, that's a red flag. Early dementia affects the brain's ability to process spatial and temporal information, meaning it struggles to create a clear mental map of where you are and what's happening around you. Seniors might start arriving late to events, missing medications, or forgetting familiar routes they've driven for years. Some describe it as a fog, where time feels distorted. Mornings blend into evenings, and yesterday feels like last week. What makes this symptom tricky is that it often appears gradually. A person may still function independently, but small mistakes, like leaving home at the wrong time, getting turned around in a grocery store, or missing simple cues, become more frequent. Experts warn that this kind of disorientation is one of dementia's earliest footprints in the brain's parietal and temporal lobes, areas responsible for memory, direction, and time awareness. To protect against this, build routine anchors into your day. Keep a visible calendar, use digital reminders, and label your environment clearly. Most importantly, stay mentally active. Activities like puzzles, map reading, or learning navigation on your phone can strengthen the same brain circuits that dementia first attacks. Subtle changes in judgment and decision-making. The fourth early sign is a quiet shift in how you make decisions. People often notice it in their judgment. Choices that once felt clear suddenly become confusing or inconsistent. For example, you might overspend on something unnecessary, fall for a suspicious phone offer, or forget to pay bills you've never missed before. Or perhaps you become overly cautious, avoiding simple tasks because they suddenly feel overwhelming. These changes don't happen overnight. They creep in slowly as dementia begins to weaken the brain's frontal lobe, the region that manages reasoning, impulse control, and sound judgment. One of the earliest red flags caregivers notice is poor financial decisions or changes in social behavior, things that seem out of character. You may also find it harder to plan or organize everyday activities, like cooking a meal or balancing your checkbook. The steps that once felt automatic start feeling like a challenge. Doctors call this executive dysfunction, and it's one of dementia's subtle but powerful early markers. The good news? The brain is incredibly adaptable. Studies show that mental training, like strategy games, learning new hobbies, or volunteering in roles that require planning, can keep the frontal lobe sharp and active. It's never too late to protect your decision-making strength. Think of every brain challenge as a workout for your future independence. Withdrawal from social activities and loss of interest. The fifth early dementia warning sign often hides in plain sight: social withdrawal. A person who once loved family gatherings, group walks, or chatting on the phone suddenly begins to pull away. They might cancel plans, avoid conversations, or seem less interested in hobbies they once enjoyed. At first, it looks like tiredness or normal aging, but deep down, something more serious may be happening. As dementia begins to develop, it interferes with how the brain processes social and emotional information. Conversations become harder to follow. Remembering names, keeping up with jokes, or understanding quick dialogue can feel exhausting. Rather than face embarrassment or frustration, many seniors begin to withdraw silently. You might notice them sitting quietly during family dinners or preferring isolation instead of interaction. This withdrawal isn't just emotional, it's neurological. When brain cells in the hippocampus and temporal lobes start to deteriorate, motivation and emotional connection weaken. The person doesn't stop caring. They just lose the spark that once made social moments enjoyable. If you notice yourself or a loved one spending more time alone, take it as a gentle warning, not a reason for fear. Re-engage the mind and heart with low-pressure interactions, a daily chat with a friend, small walks with neighbors, or joining senior activity groups. Staying socially active can slow cognitive decline by keeping the emotional centers of the brain, like the amygdala, active and alive. Remember, human connection isn't just emotional. It's medicine for the mind. Changes in personality or mood. The sixth sign is one of the most misunderstood. Sudden changes in mood or personality. A cheerful, patient person might become irritable, anxious, or even suspicious of others. You might see more frequent mood swings. Frustration one moment, silence the next. These emotional shifts aren't just about aging. They often point to early damage in the brain's emotional regulation centers, especially the frontal cortex and limbic system. Someone in the early stages of dementia might start to misinterpret situations or feel easily overwhelmed by everyday noise and confusion. They could think someone is hiding their belongings when in reality they've simply forgotten where they placed them. This confusion breeds stress and can quickly turn into anger or sadness. Caregivers often describe it as a personality change. The kind-hearted father who was always calm becomes defensive or short-tempered. The warm grandmother who loved company now seems withdrawn or mistrustful. These aren't character flaws. They're neurological responses to a brain under stress. If you start to notice such changes, patience and empathy are key. Create calm environments, maintain routines, and use gentle reassurance instead of confrontation. Simple affirmations like, "It's okay, you're safe," can help soothe the anxious brain and restore a sense of comfort. Dementia doesn't just affect memory. It reshapes how the person experiences the world. Recognizing this early and responding with understanding can make a world of difference in slowing emotional decline and preserving trust. The seventh and often most overlooked early sign of dementia is difficulty judging distance, depth, or space. Many seniors notice that driving feels more stressful, turns seem sharper, curbs appear closer, and suddenly, parking becomes confusing. Others might misjudge where furniture is, reach for an object and miss it, or spill drinks because the cup looked closer than it really was. This happens because dementia affects the visual and spatial processing, centers of the brain, areas that help your eyes and brain work together to understand what you see. It's not a problem with the eyes themselves, but with how the brain interprets visual information. You might notice a loved one walking slower, shuffling, or hesitating to step over rugs or door thresholds. They might even say things like, "The floor looks uneven," when it's perfectly flat. These are small but serious red flags that the brain's depth perception and coordination are being compromised. In the early stages, simple adjustments can help. Keep living spaces well lit. Remove clutter and patterned rugs that cause visual confusion, and encourage gentle coordination exercises like Tai Chi or slow walking. Most importantly, never scold or embarrass someone struggling with these signs. They aren't being careless. Their brain is fighting to process the world correctly, and what they need most is patience and safety. Recognizing this symptom early gives families the chance to seek medical help before bigger accidents or falls occur. Remember, awareness is power, and early detection can make a real difference. So there you have it. 7 early dementia symptoms most seniors don't notice until it's too late. Memory slips, confusion, getting lost, trouble with language, social withdrawal, mood changes, and visual difficulties. These aren't just normal aging. They can be warning whispers from your brain asking for attention. But here's the good news. Dementia isn't always a sudden or hopeless decline. When caught early, lifestyle changes like improved diet, regular exercise, mental stimulation, and better sleep can slow down progression and protect your brain's vitality for years to come. If you start noticing any of these signs, in yourself or someone you love, don't ignore them. Talk to a doctor, schedule a cognitive checkup, and most importantly, stay informed. The earlier you act, the better your chances of keeping your mind strong and sharp. At Golden Life Health, our mission is simple: to help you age with confidence, strength, and clarity. We bring you real science, real solutions, and practical steps you can take today to protect your health tomorrow. So, if this video helped you understand these dementia warning signs better, please like this video, share it with friends, and most importantly, subscribe to Golden Life Health so you never miss a life-changing tip for your brain and body. Your brain deserves care, your life deserves clarity, and your best years are still ahead. Take care of yourself, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.